Hey everyone, welcome back to BDG Reviews. Bit of a special video because this is not part of my 12 Days of Black Christmas. You've read the title, you've seen the thumbnail. I'm going to be talking about the season finale of It Welcome to Derry. I have some thoughts on this that I haven't really heard people mention about this, but this is just kind of how I see it. So we'll cover the basic thing. The end of episode 7, the government destroyed one of the pillars that were binding Pennywise in place, and he wakes back up. He goes. He takes out Will. Then he, then the show starts. You get clouds of fog rolling through Derry, and it's turning things. It's freezing water. It's getting cold. It's, Pennywise takes out an entire school of children. Basically, gets them to come to the auditorium, the gym, and he has the principal. He's using him as a freaking puppet, and then he rips his head off, and he deadlights all the kids, and he takes them all. There's I'm not going to go into the whole plot synopsis, because if you're watching this, more than likely you have seen the show. So, here are my thoughts. There's a couple of things I've noticed people, and I feel they're getting it wrong when they're talking about this. I've heard a lot of people saying it retcons stuff from the movies and whatever. Not necessarily. There's the whole part where you find out that Pennywise doesn't see time like normal, like people do. He sees the future, the past, the present, all of it all at once. So he's attacking Marge, and he's Marge Tozier. Oh, but not yet. He is attacking her because she is Richie's mother. The thing with this is it's people I've heard people talking about this, and they've been it's not in the movies or anything. I have a thought. My thought is this, and this goes back to the end of episode 7 where you get this. Pennywise wakes up every 27 years. He eats. He goes back to sleep, and that's kind of it. He's out cold for those 27 years. But as soon as this totem goes into the fire and is destroyed, he wakes up like that. So that tells me the reason he sleeps 27 years is because of these totems. So that also says to me how quickly he woke up as soon as it was destroyed says to me that what we know as Pennywise from the movies is him at maybe, say, 10% of his actual power, and probably doesn't have access to all of the abilities of his species. Because, we've never seen him do a giant freezing cold clouds throughout Derry and slaughtering people left, right, and center. We've never seen that before. But it makes sense if he couldn't do it because he didn't have access to that power. And what we see in Welcome to Derry is what he gets when one of those totems is gone. That says to me that, if all of them were gone, humanity would be pretty much fucked. I think there's a lot being hinted at here that people aren't really thinking about. I think they're looking at it and it's like, okay, they've retconned what happens in the movies. No, not necessarily. If that part of his power and everything is sealed off, maybe it's also able to say, with that element sealed off, maybe the memories of that are sealed off. Maybe while these totems are in effect, he sees time like everyone else. And maybe when that one is gone, the reason he clicks so quick and wakes up is because he remembers what's happened in the future. And he's pissed. And everything we've been seeing is, I get the feeling, is instinctual. He's going after certain characters because instinctually he knows they're a threat. He doesn't know why they're a threat, but he does realize they are a threat. But when that one pillar's taken out and he gets access to that future thought and everything again, he's like, oh. He could have killed her so many times over throughout the series. But it wasn't until he got sort of his future sight, if you will, where he was like, okay, all these ones are here. I need to take this one out. This one in particular. I'm just saying that's at least my theory. So you can only wonder if, it makes a lot of things make more sense. It makes more sense as to why in chapter 2 the losers are able to defeat him the way they do. He's literally in the center of the same material that makes up these totems that keep him bound. Essentially, when they attack him at the end of chapter 2, that is the weakest he can be, I think. I can't help but wonder, right at the beginning when it first crash landed on Earth, and it didn't have any restrictions. You think of extinction level events that have happened, maybe the reason, the dinosaurs are dead isn't to do necessarily with a meteor strike. Maybe it's to do with it. Just a thought. Who knows? But that's something I definitely think. I 100% feel that the pillars, totems, whatever you want to call them, not only locked Pennywise into the 27-year sleep cycle, but also limited the power that he could access and his perception of time. So that's why we don't get any reference to it in chapter 1 and 2. Because at that time, he is locked into the present here. This is what I don't see the future. I don't really see the past. The only thing we really get is because this sleep cycle is fucked up due to the Losers Club, he remembers in the next cycle. And it's still a fresh memory. It's not him seeing the past and the future and all this stuff at the same time, but because these things are in place. And maybe that's the reason at the end, of chapter 8, where he's running to get past to attack the kids and to stop them putting the thing in. like putting the last stake in the coffin, if you will, uh, is because he knows at that point it's like, if I can get past here, I'll have access to my full power, and I'll be out of here. You know, maybe it's not just a matter of, you know, this thing keeps me locked in here. Maybe it's this keeps me locked in and keeps me small. That also works into, you know, at least the movie version of the Ritual of Chud. You know, the idea, like, you know, everything must conform to the shape it's given, or whatever that thing was, you know? Maybe that's part of it. Just saying. You know, that's, like I said, these are just my thoughts on this, but I think it opens up a really unique question in, you know, we've seen what Pennywise can do with one pillar removed, and it's kind of devastating. We see how much quicker he is to use the deadlights than he is in his normal forms, if you will. Even just look back in the series. You know, when he uses it on, what's her face? Mrs. Kirsch. You know, it's not like, it seemed almost like an afterthought. Where it was like, you know, I'll use this and do that. But then he goes after Will. Bam, right away, deadlights. The kid's the thing, he freaks him out a bit, but bam, deadlights, all of them. So, yeah. It seems to me like someone who has been, like, running in first gear all of a sudden has access to fourth. And that is an interesting idea. Because, I mean, if what we know about Pennywise is true from this thing, but he says he can, like, he future past all of it. And then if you even go into the book, where you realize that Pennywise is actually female and actually has eggs, if it can see the past, the future, the present, maybe there's some eggs somewhere. Kept away for, like, you know, for eventually at some point in the future when Pennywise himself is long gone. Just saying. I think it works. I think there's a lot to it, and I think we are in for a treat with the next 2 seasons of Welcome to Derry. And, you know, this could open up. Hold on. Sorry about that, just got a phone call. So yeah. That's pretty much my thoughts on the episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a great addition to the lore, and despite what people are saying, you know, things aren't being retconned. I don't think. I think things are being, you know, an explanation can be given at some point to explain away these supposed retcons as actual continuity. So, yeah, that's it. So there's my thoughts on it. Let me know what, you know, if you have any thoughts on this. Like, yeah, feel free to write it down. You know, we'll try the whole YouTube thing. Leave a comment and subscribe and all that bullshit. But yeah, all I know is thoroughly enjoyable series, and it has been announced we are getting 4Ks and Blu-rays of it, so I'm quite happy about that. Um, Looking forward to seasons 2 and 3 when they eventually get around to making them. But all in all, I'm very happy with this series, and it just did everything it needed to, and gave us everything we needed. So yeah, that's it for me. See you next time.